if it wasn't for guys like Neion and Tony Dorsett, that's where I get my number from, you know, teaching other guys how to play this game, then it wouldn't be the best game in the world. That's why everybody's here right now, you know what I'm saying? And I had to take Joseph under my wing and try to teach him everything I knew, because if I didn't, then we wouldn't be the best team in the world right now, you know what I'm saying? And as for me being a free agent, man, I'm just happy for the opportunity to get to play in this league, and hopefully somebody give me an opportunity.
Out of Midwestern State, right?
Yep, out of Midwestern State, baby.
Undrafted free agent.
Undrafted free agent.
Now with a 113-yard game in the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by.
All
That's
right.
Dominique Rhodes, as he helped the Colts with a franchise playoff record, 191 rush yards for the Indianapolis Colts. And Adam Schefter is with your running back mate.
Joseph, how does it feel in your rookie year to be a world champ?
I mean, it feels real good, man. Just to come out here in these conditions and just really...
Derek, how does it feel to be a world champ?
Hey, it feels awesome.
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, to get this in your first rookie season, I mean, now, I mean, I can have my career and just start off right now.
Was the plan to run the ball quite a bit tonight?
I mean, it's whatever they gave us. I mean, we took the run and the short passes, and we took advantage of that.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
So Joseph Adai is the most receptions by a running back in Super Bowl history, tying Tony Nathan of the Miami Dolphins with 10. And Roger Craig, that's not a bad name to be associated with if you're a running back in the National Football League, certainly in the Super Bowl. Still to come, more from South Florida, where in the very first rain game in Super Bowl history, the Indianapolis Colts, they were not supposed to be able to fare well in this sort of weather, certainly against a tough slog-it-out team in the Chicago Bears, but I guess who knows what. Really? We'll be back with more. Peyton Manning strolling off the field as a Super Bowl champion. Yeah, he's a little wet, but nothing can rain on his parade right now as the Colts win Super Bowl 41. And Manning is a Super Bowl champion thanks in part to this play with the Bears down just 5, trying to drive down the field to take the lead. Kelvin Hayden, a second-round pick out of Illinois, a converted wide receiver, has a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. And he joins us on our set on NFL Game Day in Dolphin Stadium right here and now. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know what? I mean, that's not the way you probably envisioned you'd beat the Bears in the Super Bowl when you're born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, is it now?
Nah, yeah, it's just a crazy feeling right now. I know when I go back home, all my friends and family is just gonna be just like kind of mad at me because before the game they say they wish the best of luck for me and they want me to do good, but they didn't want the team to win, and it's just crazy right now. They said, hey, you know, just don't make a big play when it's critical, and look what happened.
No, they said don't allow a big play when it's critical. I tell you something, man, I'm jealous. Super Bowl interception, touchdown, you went to the house. As a cornerback, as a defensive back, we dream of those things. When did you start dreaming and visualizing that play that it could happen?
I was actually dreaming about it last night. It's just a true story. I just visioned having an interception and scoring a touchdown. It's just crazy because you know, I was watching TV. I was watching a Cadillac commercial, and Tiki Barber said that a guy went down, and he said seize the moment, seize the opportunity or whatever, because you never know when you're going to get it again. And hey, I made the play.
You talk about Nick Harper, and all week long, I know you was just thinking to yourself, man, if he goes down, I got to step up and bury him in his playing. And you know they take shots at him. Muhammad is physical, but you had to be ready and willing to make that type of transition.
Oh yeah, the coaches were telling me all week, hey, you know, Nick Harper is just a slim chance that he will play. And he said, hey, you know, you got to go in there, step up and make plays. And that's what I've been preparing for all week in and week out the whole season. Like, hey, you know, you can't pout about not playing. You know that you're good enough. But hey, you know, you have the big guys in front of you. I'm still. They call me a little puppy. But you know, hey, I'm just happy to have an opportunity to seize the moment.
Calvin, describe the play. Was it a hitch and go, a double move, and what coverage were you in?
We was in man coverage, and all week we said no, that hey, they're gonna they take their shots, and when they take their shots, they run double routes. Yep. So hey, I just just was disciplined enough not to bite on the first move, and just make the opportunity when I have the chance.
So Ron Turner, the offensive coordinator from the Bears, did you see him?
Yeah.
Recruited you to Illinois.
Yeah.
And you saw him after the game?
No, actually, I seen him before the game. We got a chance to talk, and he just wished me the best of luck. I wished him the best of luck also. And he just said, hey, just seize the moment and have fun out there. And then, hey, that's everything that I did.
And speaking of the moment, I mean, just think about it. You say you were visualizing it, you were dreaming that you have a pick six in the Super Bowl, and now you're on the NFL Game Day set sitting next to this guy.
Prime time. That's
right here.
Hey, this is one of the guys I grew up watching. I remember on the schoolyard playground with my Deion Sanders shoes on. High step is just doing, you know, doing all the little things that he did, and hey, it's just a blessing.
But I never did anything like that, man. I've never did anything like that. Not only that, overachiever, man. You wasn't even supposed to be in there, but you seized the moment. Like you say, you were patient. You was willing. You had to study because it looked like you knew what route was coming, and you were ready, and you took advantage of the situation. And that's what great players do. They maximize the moments.
Yeah, I'm just blessed that I'm just patient enough, not a powder, and I'm just happy. I'm just so happy right now. I'm just speechless.
Well, every Super Bowl seems to bring guys to the fore that seek the spotlight and find it, and that would be you on this night.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So
Have
congratulations.
a good time, but don't get in any trouble tonight.
Oh, not at all, not at all.
Kelvin Hayden with his first career interception, and it just happens to be a pick six in the Super Bowl against his childhood team.
Yeah, I grew up a Bears fan. I'm still a Bears fan. I mean,
that's tough to say.
Yeah, I'm still a Bears fan, and once this day is over, you know, I'm back to being a Bears fan. I told all my family and friends, hey, I'm still a Bears fan, but not today.
If it was me, and I picked six and went to the house, I'm going on South Beach with my uniform on just like that. Don't even take it off.
Nah.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
This Kelvin Hayden joining us here on the NFL Game Day set at the Super Bowl. The other guy who picked off Rex Grossman, Bob Sanders. You see him with the trophy right there, running down. Have you gotten to touch that thing yet? Have you?
Not at all.
Not yet. Well, you got to go and touch that thing. Bob Sanders spoke with our Kara Henderson.
I'm good, man. This is it's a great feeling, man. I can't explain to you how I feel right now.
Your defense has been so maligned all season. How validating is this win, especially the way the defense played?
I mean, I think it just shows everyone that, you know, we've been working hard all year. No one believed in us, and we pulled together this postseason, and we just put it on ourselves that, you know, we were going to get the job done and not rely on our offense to put up a lot of points. And today it was just a total team effort, and we just balled out.
You've been on the injury report much of this season. It's been a tough season for you, but you had an interception tonight. Did you feel 100%?
I did, man. It was good to be back, and you know, it's just a total team effort. I'm so excited, man, for this organization, for the city of Indianapolis, and it's just awesome, man. It's a great feeling.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A couple of Big Ten guys helping doing the Chicago Bears, as Alex Brown has a very tough exit in the state in which he played his college ball. Marvin Harrison is a Super Bowl champ, and the same can be said for Tony Dungy getting the ride of his life. Peyton Manning, a Super Bowl MVP, and Jim Irsay bringing the championship trophy back to the Colts organization. What a night for Indianapolis here in rainy South Florida. So we were all wondering which Rex Grossman was going to show on Super Sunday, and Grossman was 20 for 28, but there were two picks in this game that were crushers for the Chicago Bears in the fourth quarter. And after the game, our Alex Flanagan caught up with Lovie Smith.
Our plan was to, if we couldn't get sacks, to get some pressure on him, and I thought we had decent pressure at time.
5 turnovers for the Bears in this game. What went on with the turnovers? Why was that such a problem?
You know, of course, the wet field didn't help any, but they were playing with the same ball on the same field. Some games, you turn the ball over. It's as simple as that. A lot of it probably had to do with how the Colts played. You have to give them a lot of credit. They stripped the ball. They did a great job of intercepting it.
You've stuck behind Rex Grossman all season, all week long. He had 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter of this game. What do you make of his performance tonight?
I make this, well, his performance is a lot like our performance as a team. We didn't play well enough to win tonight. Those interceptions Rex threw were critical interception for us, but we had a lot of opportunities. Not much work for us today. Again, I'm going to go back to the Colts and say that a lot of it had to do with them.
Lovie, I would imagine that if there's one person that you'd like to lose the Super Bowl to, it would be to your good friend Tony. What was the exchange like with him at the end of this game?
Oh, it's pretty much that. You're right. We wanted to win it for us, but if someone else has to win it, you know, why not Tony? Of course, he's a great coach. He did a great job with his ball club. Peyton Manning is a great player. You know, you go through spells where, you know, you have to deal with some things like this. We made progress this year. We didn't get it done. Hopefully next year will be our time.
You guys were a class act to cover this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
So the Chicago Bears continue a bizarre tradition in this decade of #1 NFC seeds in the Super Bowl losing. Let's go upstairs to Jamie Dukes and Marshall.
All right, Marshall, your friend Peyton Manning, he exercises his demons. The T-Rex showed up for Rex Grossman. Take us inside the playbook.
You know, we take a look at this playbook, and you get an opportunity to see exactly the things that Rex Grossman struggled with tonight. You know, turning the ball over in this game, kind of how he didn't do against the Saints, was their demise in this game. First, you see Rex falling down. That's a sack there. And then the losing of the ball. Another sack, then turn the ball over here, but here on the back foot. And I know we want to blame Rex for this, but not having clean feet, the coach put pressure on him. This ball here is a ball that has to be thrown further down the field. Inexperience and youth, not getting the ball out there, and there you go. You get a Rex trotting off the field. Rex Grossman just has to learn how to play in the big games. I think you know, calling him T-Rex and doing things like this, I'm a little hard on him, we're a little hard on him. This is his first season. Full season, that is, and he got his team to the Super Bowl.
All right, tough question here. Rex Grossman, quarterback controversy. Will he be the starting quarterback, and should he be the starting quarterback?
Well, the thing is, if you look at Rex Grossman and the guys that's on his team that plays quarterback against him or with him, you know, I don't think that there's a controversy. I think that he's the best quarterback that they have in their stable right now. Now, if they want to go out and draft the quarterback or bring someone in to compete against Rex, that's another thing. But I think that that's a bad idea. I think Wade Wilson and Rex Grossman need to get together and get him on the same page with offensive coordinator Ron Turner and get him to understand the little nuances about the offense, so when they play against a defense similar to their own, that he can make the checks and make the good decisions like Peyton Manning did tonight.
Well, I think they ought to hold serve, because I think Rex Grossman should be started, because 23 touchdowns in this league is extremely difficult. We can correct the interceptions if you're a coach, as you very well know. I mean, certainly cutting down maybe 8 to 10 of those interceptions. But I think the key is going to be for Rex, #1, he's got to stop throwing off his back foot. So if he will continue to do that, he's going to continue to throw picks.
Not to mention that, what you have to understand is in the other two phases of the game, this team is dynamic. That defense was out on the field way too much. That's why Peyton Manning called him up. If you give him time, he'll do that to anybody. But what they need is for Rex Grossman, they need one player. A lot of other teams need a whole phase. They need one player to step up and play better, and that's Rex Grossman. And I think with maturity and time, he's going to become better.
Now, when I leave here, I'm going home to see the babies, to see the families. Somebody's going to Hawaii. You excited about going to Hawaii?
You know, I am excited about going to Hawaii. I've been to Super Bowls as a player, and now not as a player, as a broadcaster, as an analyst, getting the opportunity to see the game from a different light.
All right, big boy. Much more to come right here on Game Day. You don't want to miss it. The world champ, Indianapolis Colts, celebrating Tony Dungy, taking a little bath, a little double bath.
And the man who is sitting on the set right now, Tony Dungy, is Super Bowl champion head coach.
Say that again.
Super Bowl champion head coach.
Great feeling.
You know you're not an African American anymore. You are a Super Bowl champion. We don't see any color, and we thank you for that. My Christian brother, you are a wonderful man, and we thank you.
Dion, thank you. It's an awesome feeling. I was so proud of our team. We talked about facing adversity and how things had gone this season for us. We've had so much go on with just injuries, car accidents, Reggie Wayne's brother. That adversity, I think, got us ready for the playoffs, and I think the Lord did it. He got us ready, and we were able to take advantage of it.
Tony, would you mind telling us what you said to your team in the locker room? I'm sure it was a private moment, but a great moment. What kind of words did you have for them?
I told them I was so proud of them for bringing the championship to Indianapolis, but more than that, for being the type of guys they were. We brought a championship team there, but a team that the city could be proud of. I think our guys are great role models as well as great players, and that was more important to me. And I was also proud of the way they hung together. We won as a team. We won, really, people talk about us as a dome team. We came out here in the elements where you had to run the ball and play defense, and that was really Chicago's game. and we're able to win at their style of ball.
Great question by Mooch, but I want to know more importantly, what did you tell your special team coach after you kicked the ball to Devin Hester?
You know, that was me. We talked about it all week, and I said, hey, we're going to kick it to him. We got great coverage guys. We're going to go down there and cover. And we had a guy right in the hole, free in the hole, and he couldn't make the tackle. So after that, we said, you know what, the way our defense is playing, we can't let this guy beat us. We got to keep the ball away from him.
And then Peyton Manning throws an interception, and for the second straight game, you're in a hole. And what is it about this team that seems to be more resilient than any team that you have had in Indianapolis for sure?
That's the thing, and I think that's what the year did for us. This isn't our most talented team of the 5, but it is the most resilient, the team that was able to fight off adversity the best and hang together. And I really think that really is just the way the Lord orchestrated this whole thing. And we've had a lot of adversity, personal and on the field. We played tight games. We played games where different units had to win it for us. And because of that, it just didn't seem to matter in the playoffs how the games went. If we had to score 30 points in the second half against New England, our offense was able to do it. If we had to win with field goals and defense in Baltimore, we were able to do it. If we had to run the ball today and play tough in the rain, that's what we did. And this group just seemed to do whatever it takes.
Super Bowl champion, but you had to win the Super Bowl by defeating one of your closest friends, Lovie Smith.
I saw Lovie after the game, and I told him I was just proud of him, and I was proud to be part of this game with him. They've got a great team. They're built for the long haul. They're going to win their championship at some point, but it was awesome to share this with him. And I know I know he's happy for me, and I would have been happy for him if they'd have won.
Tony, you said it wasn't your most talented team, but certainly of high character and tight and close. You're headed into the offseason now, and you've got a good young team. How do you keep it, not just the players, but you got some coaches too. How do you keep this all together?
We have to just remember this feeling, remember how we did it, and fortunately we've got some great veteran leaders. I know March 1 when we kick off the off-season program, Peyton Manning's going to be in there throwing, Marvin Harrison's going to be there, our offensive linemen are going to be there, Gary Brackett's going to be there leading the defense, and because of that, I think we've got a chance to hang in there.
I've said that a million times to people. Peyton Manning and Marvin and Reggie and the guys throwing in the offseason, throwing before practice, throwing before games, more than anybody else, really. There's no secret why they're so good. They work at it like nobody else.
They really do. We've got tremendous workers, and I have to really pull the reins back more often than not. And whenever we assemble, those guys are there first. They're the leaders. They never want to take a day off. They don't want to take a play off. And that's how you win.
Yeah.
Coach, you mentioned about how many of your players had gone through personal adversity. Obviously, you did last year. And there's a lot of talk that if you won this Super Bowl, that you would consider hanging them up. So I have to ask you right now, did you just coach your last game for the Indianapolis Colts?
Well, I'll tell you, Rich, we got a party to go to tonight. That's the #1 thing on my mind. We got a parade in Indianapolis tomorrow. That's the second thing on my mind. I know we're going to get some rings at some point. We're going to go to the White House. All those things are what I'm thinking about, but I really will. I'll sit down with Jim Irsay, looking to plan for the future. We really are. So I don't know what's going to happen, but
Coach, that team over there, you make a run off two straight, two more, 2 or 3.
Well, that's what we're planning on right now. We got to figure out a way to defend our championship. That's #1 on our list.
So you're going to be back?
I don't know
just
that
wink,
for sure.
Just wink. You don't have to tell him. Just wink. Yeah, he's going to be back. I can see it in his eyes.
But the #1 thing we got to do is defend our championship.
There you
so
go.
if I can help.
You said we.
Right.
That's all I need to hear.
But you don't know for sure.
I don't know for sure. And I didn't know for sure last year. I didn't know for sure the year before. So it's no different.
Wow. Well, enjoy the party tonight and get your ring, but please come back, Tony. This league needs you.
Oh, thank you.
And everybody loves you.
Thank you very much.
Former and present players. Thank you, Coach. You're a good man.
8 straight years with a playoff team. Only Tom Landry in NFL history had more than Super Bowl winning head coach Tony Dungy.
Thank you very much, Rich.
I said that again for you.
You
because
did,
it makes
and it feels good.
Congratulations to you and your family. Tony Dungy joining us here on the set of NFL Game Day after he gets the ride of his life. And the shower, the Gatorade shower.
It's a great feeling.
All sorts of showers he was enduring on Sunday night.
Peyton Manning's been in the league for 9 years. He's established quite a few records, 7 4,000-yard passing seasons, but he's never been able to hoist the Lombardi Trophy until now. The Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning, winners of Super Bowl 41. Fran Charles alongside Ron Woodson and head coach Jim Moore. We're going to quickly reset you through the highlights of Super Bowl 41 and take you through the action at Dolphin Stadium in Miami. Lovie Smith and Tony Dungy, great friends, the first African-American head coach to coach the Super Bowl. Rex Grossman squaring off against Peyton Manning, but before the offenses got a chance, Devin Hester and the Bears kickoff return team getting the first opportunity. Hester settling in at the 8, makes a couple of moves, and then Hester turns on the speed, 92 yards. Bears up 7-0. The first opening kick return for a touchdown in Super Bowl history, the 8th overall. And Rod, this guy is special.
You know what? He can make people miss in holes like this. And this 14-second run was the highlight of the Bears' day. He's a special guy. He has a lot to look forward to in the National Football League.
Lovie Smith drops the play sheet. He can't believe it. Arms up. His team's up 7-0. All right, Colts get the ball back. Second drive of the game, 3rd and 10. And Peyton Manning buys some time. Reggie Wayne wide open. Blown coverage, Coach?
Oh, yeah, definitely a blown coverage. The safety was supposed to be in the deep half in that cover 2. He bit, played man for man. Reggie Wayne was wide open.
All right, 53 yards there, but they botched the extra point. So Bears still up 7-0. Check that, 7-6. All right, the following kickoff. Colts, you're not going to get them twice. Squib kick here. Gabe Reed hit and fumbles. And the Colts, Tyjon Hagler recovers it. A nice strong hit there. And on the next play, 1st and 10 for the Colts. But they give it right back. Manning. The handoff connection to Joseph Adai, not tight there, Rod, and Mark Anderson recovers.
I mean, absolutely great pass rush. He got the snap. He really didn't have a chance to get this ball, but that was a great opportunity by Mark Anderson.
You know, people talk about the weather maybe causing these turnovers. I think it was just good hard hitting.
It was.
And Thomas Jones doing what he does best. Finds some room down the right side, 52 yards, his longest run of the season, down to the 5. And look at the patience, Coach.
Yeah, nice little cutback by him. Big hole, too, on that cutback.
Jones over 100 yards rushing for the game. 3 plays later, Rex Grossman throwing in a tight coverage. Muhsin Muhammad squeezes it for 6.
That was a good throw.
Good, strong catch by Muhsin, big physical
good
guy.
Throw, though.
Put his hands out, catches it with his hands.
Bears up 14-6 in control. A couple of drives later, though. Key loss for the Bears. Cedric Benson hurt on this play after this tough shot from Cato June, Coach.
Yeah, he got hit there pretty darn good and hurt his knee and was out for the rest of the game. And I think that hurt the Bears' running game.
Second quarter, Colts on the move. Manning to Marvin Harrison. 22 yards there. And 4 players later, they switch it up. Dominic Rhodes, the spin move, tough running, Rod.
This is the spark plug that they needed today. Dominic Rhodes came in and gave them a lift in the running game.
The offensive line just winning the battle in the trenches for the Colts. 8 yards there, and then Rhodes punches it in. And
Great blocking.
Peyton Manning and the Colts up 16-14. Colts next drive, it's Manning to Brandon Fletcher, but he's stripped by Tillman, and Tillman falls on the ball, and that was a huge play for the Bears.
You know, the Bears led the league in takeaways this year, Fran, but in this game, they lost a takeaway giveaway battle.
Grossman had some issues holding on to the snap a couple of times. So the Colts looking to make them pay. Adam Vinatieri, automatic right, hasn't missed in the postseason. A little too much draw. And Vinatieri proves he's human. Coltsville still leads 16-14 at the break. Third quarter now, and this is when Peyton Manning and company really getting into a rhythm. Nice dump off there to Adai in the flat for 6 yards. This is 2nd and 5. The stretch play, Adai picks up 8 yards on the ground. 4 plays later, it's a dive. Same play, a 10-yard gain. Tough running from the rookie Rod.
You know, they took advantage of their defensive ends getting up the field. They kept running on the edges, and they kept throwing the ball underneath.
Led to an Adam Vinatieri field goal, 19-14. Colts up. Rex Grossman with some issues there.
Had a hard time with the center exchange. That's got to be automatic.
Mathis falls on him for the 11-yard loss. Colts get the ball back, and Dominic Rhodes, the other member of the 1-2 punch. 36 yards before he's brought down by Tillman.
Hit him with a little draw play, made guys miss. And this is the type of plays you need to have, you need to make if you want to win a Super Bowl.
How about a game this guy had, huh? Dominic Rhodes, backup running back. Wow.
113 yards on the ground, and Rhodes spinning now down to the 2. Vinatieri on for the field goal. Colts up 22-14. Vinatieri with 3 field goals in this game. Fourth quarter, and now the Bears need to make something happen. Grossman leaves a little bit too much air under this ball.
And that ball went straight in the air, and I think Hayden said it the best in a previous interview that they want to go deep with the double moves, and they were ready for it, and absolutely he was ready for that one.
Kelvin Hayden goes 56 yards. The rest want to make sure that his heel didn't come down out of bounds. And how is this for precision?
How close was this one? If that heel goes down, he's out of bounds. He kept that heel up.
First career interception. Good timing.
And playing for Nick Harper, who had to leave the game with an injury. Manning says, yeah, thanks for the help. Bears now on the next possession, 4th play of the drive, 1st and 10, and Grossman again. A little too much air under, looking for Bernard Berrien, but Bob Sanders is there.
You can't underthrow your speedster. You got to let him run underneath the football. Rex didn't have his best game, but neither did the whole Bears football team.
And how much of a difference, coach, has Bob Sanders been for the
Not only in something like this in the passing game, but in the running game. This guy's a missile when he goes to that ball carrier. Hard hitter, good tackler.
5:15 left in the game. Bears trying to make something happen. Grossman looking for Desmond Clark, but he's hit by Matt Giordano, and it's ruled an incomplete pass. And rightfully so. Grossman, he turned the ball over 3 times on the night. Tony Dungy and the Indianapolis Colts get to taste the Gatorade. Dungy and Manning winning their first Super Bowl together. The Colts win it 29-17. And there you see the embrace between Dungy and his good friend Lovie Smith following the contest. Peyton Manning and his coach, all the Colts getting their hands on that Lombardi trophy there.
Gotta get a touch.
You know how that feels, Rod.
Feels good. It does feel good.
The Indianapolis Colts with their first Super Bowl victory in 31 years. They beat the Chicago Bears 29-17. And Peyton Manning right there, the MVP of the game, the 21st quarterback to hold MVP honors. And Manning doing what he did best, coach, just checking the ball down and not necessarily forcing it downfield.
Here's the thing about Peyton Manning. I mean, this guy has the best work ethic of any football player I've ever been around. And I'm not talking about practice time. I'm talking about off-season, before practice, after practice. I'm talking about in the weight room. A lot of people, Rod, as you know, they say, wait, I want to win the game. He does what it takes to win games, okay? He puts in the effort and the time. Great player.
No more talk about Peyton Manning needing to win a championship to validate his career. He just did it.
Truly a team win and a team effort, and we worked real hard this season and really just the past number of seasons. Obviously for the rookies, I know this is special, but this is special for a lot of the veteran players that have been here through some of the great wins we've had, through some of the tough losses, and nice to be able to put it together with a championship.
Peyton Manning is a tremendous player. He's a great leader. He prepares, he works. He does everything that you can do to win ball games and to lead your team. I don't think there's anything you can say now other than this guy is a Hall of Fame player and one of the greatest players to ever play in the game. Everyone was going to talk about their defense and our offense. We felt like defensively and special teams wise we could win the game, and our defense has played that way in the playoffs. They've come out and they've played together, and in spite of anything that happened, they never got rattled. I really have to dedicate this to some guys who came before me. When I came in the league in 1981, you know, Jimmy Ray and Sherman Lewis, Lionel Taylor, those guys were in the league already, and great coaches that I know could have done this if they'd have gotten an opportunity.
Yeah, you know, we finished games all season long when we got late in the game. We made plays when we had to, and we didn't do it today. It's just it's frustrating, but you got to give them credit, man. They're a good football team, and they made plays when they had to.
We didn't make the plays to win it, and that's extremely frustrating. But we know we're a great team, and at this point, all you can do is just get better.
#1 overall picks in the draft, making their first appearance in the Super Bowl, and Peyton Manning joining an illustrious list here, along with Troy Aikman, Jim Plunkett, and Terry Bradshaw, winning when they get that first opportunity to make it, guys, into the Super Bowl. And, Coach, you drafted Peyton Manning. You had an opportunity. Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning, they were both there. A, tell me why you picked Manning, and B, what are you most impressed about as you've seen him now play for these 9 years?
We picked Peyton Manning because we thought he could handle being the #1 draft pick better than anybody else, that not only the ability that he had, and we thought Ryan Leaf had ability too, but Peyton had the maturity and the work ethic, and we know he was going to be able to handle being a #1 draft pick, and that is difficult when you're a quarterback. There's a lot of focus on you. Peyton just seemed like he was more mature and more ready to do what it takes to be successful than Ryan did. And this guy, like I said earlier, has a tremendous work ethic. He makes other people around him better because he forces you, because winning is so important to him. He forces his teammates to come out there and do what he has to do. The first guy in the weight room, the first guy in the practice field, the last guy off, and other people around him, hey, we better do it too, you know. We want to be like Peyton. We want to help him win too. He makes other people better.
Peyton Manning and Tony Dungy, they win this first Super Bowl championship together, Rod, and Tony Dungy is somebody who you not only know well, but respect.
I respect the guy. I love to see good things happen to good people, and Tony's a great human being. When you think about Tony Dungy and his career as a head coach, he's never wavered for what he believes in. He lets the guys feel comfortable. They never have to look over their shoulder. He's a guy that never raises his voice to his players, and they respect that so much. They want to go out and win for a guy like that. I know I did when I played underneath him, and I know Peyton Manning and the rest of the Indianapolis coach, they feel the same way. This guy is a tremendous human being outside of football, and everybody wants to see this individual succeed, and I'm happy that he finally got that ring that he so much deserves.
Yeah, both Lovie Smith and Tony Dungy proving that you don't have to be yellows and screamers to be a Super Bowl champions. No coach has won more games over the last 8 years than Tony Dungy. And tonight, Tony Dungy is celebrating with his Indianapolis Colts. The Colts win Super Bowl 41 over the Bears, 29-17. Much more coming up from Miami when we come back on NFL Game Day.
Perhaps the most eventful first quarter in Super Bowl history. First of all, 4 turnovers in the first quarter. That's a Super Bowl record. And then Devin Hester lit it up with the first kickoff return of an opening kickoff in Super Bowl history with a 92-yarder. Deion Sanders, how did that happen?
First of all, Devin is so elusive. He's fast. He's quick. He has great peripheral start and stop, and his hips are unbelievable. Let me tell you something. I didn't believe coming into this game they were going to even kick the ball off to Devin Hester. I understand a punt, you could directional punt, but a kickoff is more like a set play. As you can see, Devin makes the return. He goes upfield a couple of steps to set up his blockers. Get into the wedge, his blockers looking for the first thing to show. Now, though, that group of guys that you see, everybody's man-on-man contact. So now you give Devin Hester a one-on-one. Oh, and that move right there. I want to take it back real slow because this is in real speed. Oh, one-on-one right there. And whenever a kick returner or punt returner makes eye contact with the kicker, what you need to do, Rich, is fire up the band because it's going to be a celebration.
And he, I mean, he 15 seconds in put his name in very first, I guess, bid for the Super Bowl MVP. And who knows, he may have been it had the Chicago Bears won this game. But Peyton Manning eventually got that award, Steve. He got it done, and down 7-0, he came up with a pretty darn good play in the pocket for a big-time touchdown pass to Reggie Wayne. How did he do that?
Well, he needed to respond right away to that Devin Hester kickoff return and get his team back in the game. And you'll see right here on the first big touchdown play to Reggie Wayne, the Bears should be playing, it looks like, cover 2, and everybody's playing cover 2, but I think when Ben Utek, the tight end, runs an in route, the safety, Danny Manning, seems to bite on him and come out of coverage. And the thing about it is Peyton Manning is going to be under duress on this play. It's one thing to have somebody break wide open because of a busted coverage, but it's another thing to be seeing him and finding a way to get him the ball under duress. You'll see Manning jumps on Utek here, leaving Reggie Wayne wide open down the field for the easy touchdown. Now Peyton Manning is being grabbed in the pocket. He's a real strong guy. He throws this with just his arm and throws a nice ball to Reggie Wayne for their first touchdown to make it 7-6.
So Peyton Manning is the Super Bowl MVP, and it really wasn't I mean, Peyton Manning has had far greater statistical games in his career, and you know the defense in many ways carried this day for the Colts in this Super Bowl, and yet he now has the monkey off his back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's still the great quarterback that we thought he was, to paraphrase a statement.
Is
so
who he is.
I mean, wouldn't you say? I mean,
he is.
But he still needed tonight's W.
Yes, he did.
Why?
Because to go to that next level, to be that ultimate champion, that fighter, that warrior, that guy who, the reason people look up to some of us that have played the game is because we won. It's not because, I mean, some athletes who accomplish just as much, but we won, and they associate us and identify us with winning, and Peyton Manning has joined that team. He's joined that fraternity. The monkey is clearly off his back. He was already arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the game or to ever play the game, and now that monkey is off his back, he goes to yet another level.
Well, it is off his back, but I'm not sure he needed to do it right away. But the guy's going to be a first-time Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame guy. When he quits, he's going to have all the records. Favre will break them all next year, and Manning, if he stays healthy, will probably break some of Brett's. But this was a great game for him. This weather's terrible for a Super Bowl. The only rain Super Bowl game ever, and he still completed 25 passes, managed the game. But they won this game like the Chicago Bears had been winning all year, running the football for 191 yards, playing great defense. They had 16 more minutes time of possession. He was very methodical, very smart with how he distributed the ball around.
He completed 70% of his passes after his interception.
And I do agree. I think he came out, and I think in the back of his mind, he said, you know what, I hadn't gotten Marvin Harrison his ball all the playoffs in the repetitiously like he normally is accustomed to receiving the ball. Let me get out and get it. And I think he forced that ball into cover 2 coverage, and he wanted, man, let me just settle down and be myself and do what I do. And like you said, methodically, he just picked that Chicago defense apart. In that running game, Dominique Rose, Joseph Adai, they came up big for Peyton Manning.
You know, they threw the touchdown pass to Reggie Wayne, and then he threw the interception. Then he didn't throw the ball down the field after that at all. Everything else was possession downs, move the sticks, 24 first downs, keep the Bears over on the sideline.
Well, Peyton Manning has been a stalwart of the Pro Bowl, not only being selected to it, but he loves going to it. He loves being there. He loves being with his Pro Bowl brethren. And look at this company that he now belongs to in terms of winning a Super Bowl in the season in which he's led the league in touchdown passes. Peyton Manning, again, he's always one of the first guys at the Pro Bowl, but this year he'll be a little delayed. He's got a parade, he's got a little bit of Disney World, and then he'll go to the Pro Bowl. He's going to love that. I mean, he is really going to soak in that atmosphere. He's the Super Bowl MVP, for crying out loud.
Guys, we know how festive it was down in Miami for Super Bowl 41. Well, they are getting ready to party the night through in Indianapolis as streets are packed with cars. Fans are trying to figure out where they're heading here to
Indiana,
celebrate.
baby.
That's
Indiana.
right. You're an Indiana guy to celebrate the Super Bowl 41 victory. Hey, here's Peyton Manning this season, indoors versus outdoors. And, Coach, I don't want to get in trouble, but as we look at the numbers here, Peyton performed a little bit better indoors, 23 TDs versus 6 picks, and had a higher passer rating, and 10-1 this year. The starting quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts indoors. Bottom line, Colts win 3 straight playoff games and Super Bowl 41. They are Super Bowl champs.
I wanted to be on a team that won the Super Bowl. I mean, to me, that's what it's always been about. And in years past, when our teams come up short, it's been disappointing. But somehow, some way, we find a way to have learned from some of those losses. And I felt we've been a better team because of it. And as disappointing as the playoff loss was last year to Pittsburgh, the veteran guys got together and learned from it. And felt like we were a better team this year, maybe stronger for it. So but it's nice when you put a lot of hard work to finally be able to cap it off with a championship.
And guys, now this game was close, even though it looked like the Colts were dominating for most of the game when you looked at the numbers, but it was close from a score perspective. So, Coach, what was the turning point in your estimation?
Okay, in my opinion here, halftime is 16-14 Colts, okay? Colts come out, take the opening kickoff of the second half, use up half the third quarter, go down, kick a field goal. Now it's 19-14. Bears have a chance to answer. They get the ball, pretty good field position. First play, throw a pass, 14 yards. Second play, another pass, 9 yards. Now it's 2nd and 1 on the Colt 45. They got something going here. Run the ball, get the first down. No, they come back. Rex Grossman falls down, gets sacked, lose 11 yards. Now it's 3rd down and long. He comes back, fumbles the ball, loses another 11 yards. Now it's 4th and 23, and they got a punt. They had something going. Run the ball, 2nd and 1, get the first down, keep the drive going. They got greedy, and it hurt them. That was a turning point.
And only down by 2 points or 5 points at that point. Right. Anyway, still right in the ball game. And Rod, everybody thought bad weather has to favor the Bears. And not necessarily the case.
Not necessarily the case. I mean, we all thought the bad weather would be all about the Bears because they're big and physical. They're going to run downhill. And everybody said they're going to run downhill. Even Lovie Smith said, we're going to do what we do, run the football downhill. Well, it didn't work out. 19 attempts, really didn't get anything going. Losing Benson late in the first quarter didn't help anything. I mean, Thomas Jones ran the ball extremely well when he had chances, but you never really wanted to put the opportunities or too many opportunities in Rex Grossman's hands. You wanted to run the football, and they should have ran more on the edges instead of in between the tackles because they didn't get what they needed to have accomplished in running the football and giving Rex Grossman opportunities to go down the field. It was too much about Rex making the plays. The opportunities were not really there. It put him in a bad situation.
And I think when most fans look at this game, Bears fans are going to say, oh, Rex Grossman had the 2 picks late in the game, and we saw the Rex Grossman who threw, 3 interceptions or more in 5 games. But really, it was the game plan that put the Bears in a bad spot.
I didn't like the game plan from Ron Turner. I think that when you have a big physical presence, you have defensive ends who love to get up the field. We know that the Indianapolis Colts defensive ends love to get up the field. You got to go with a 2 tight end set, run the ball on the edges, take advantage of those situations, throw some screen plays in there, do the things you're not comfortable doing at times. And maybe that's not your mainstay, but give them something different than what you normally would do.
You don't want to put the game in the hands of Rex Grossman. He's a young guy. He's going to be a good player, but he's inexperienced. You compare him to Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning managed the game well. Rex Grossman does not have that experience to do what a Peyton Manning does. Don't even compare the two. And I'm not knocking Rex Grossman when I say that. But do, run the ball like Rod said. Run the ball and don't put Rex having to win it. And that's kind of what they got into in the second half, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think you said it right. I think you had to mix it up, and they didn't really mix it up. I think the opportunities that were there, it really, I don't want to say they were Rex's fault. He's a young guy. He's still learning. He's going to be a good quarterback, but I think they should have truly tried to run the ball on the edges, all those different things, and plus they got ran on. That's another thing they couldn't do. They couldn't stop the run, and their interior front 4 in Boone and Johnson and Scott, those guys didn't get it done late in the game, and they took advantage of the guys on the edges, Alex Brown and Agunlie and Anderson. They took advantage of those guys getting up the field and running the ball on the edges. So everything that needed to happen happened well for the Indianapolis Colts, and I think the game plan for them was outstanding.
You got to put a little pressure on Peyton, too. You just can't let him sit back there, know exactly what you're going to be in pre-snap, because he'll eat you up, and this is what he did. If it's the short stuff he needs to do, he'll take the short stuff. If it's the long stuff he needs to do, he'll take the long. If he has to run the ball, he'll see what you're in. Hey, the best thing for us to do is to run the ball. He'll call a run, and he'll run the ball. You can't let him do that.
All right, guys, talk some sense into the people who are going to say, hey, should Rex Grossman be the Bears starting quarterback next year? Please, I'm going to tee that up for you first.
I mean, the guy's young. You got to remember, this is his first full year starting in the National Football League. He's going to be fine. Yeah, they have Brian Greasy, but this guy can play. He's a winner. 19-7 going into this game, including the playoffs. That's a pretty good record. I think if they can understand to run the football, and I know they wanted to run the football. When you lose Benson, their 1-2 punch, you had to have Thomas Jones in there the whole time. And that's not what you really wanted. And I think you said it the best, Coach. That indication of them 2nd and 1 and Ron Turner, yeah, you're trying to getting mixed up trying to go deep on that one play, but you're really gashing him. You're getting things done by running the football. Continually run the football. I think he's going to be fine. And for anybody to say that he should not be the quarterback or have a quarterback controversy going into next year, I think is ludicrous.
This was his 4th year in the NFL, but his 1st year as a full-time starter. I think next year is going to be a key year for Rex Grossman. See what kind of development he makes. I think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah, you lead your team to a 13-3 mark. You get them all the way to the Super Bowl, and people still want to talk about whether he should be a starting quarterback, man. It's tough work if you can get it. Much more on NFL Game Day. Our Super Bowl edition. Peyton Manning has his Super Bowl championship ring. We'll be back right after this. Peyton Manning waited 9 long years for this. Put that right fist up in the air. He gets that first Super Bowl championship. Super Bowl 41 MVP, and Tony Dungy, the first African-American head coach to take the Lombardi Trophy. And you see the Colts there celebrating. They're all fired up. And now why shouldn't they be? So, Rod, let's go over a couple of questions before we wrap up the Super Bowl edition of NFL Game Day. What did we learn here?
I think if you want to see someone's character, true character, give them some power. Tony Dungy had that power in Tampa and Indy, and he never changed. I think GMs and owners need to see that you don't need a screamer, a hollerer to lead somebody. A leader can lead by silence because they have respect by their peers.
What do I think we learned? I'm going to say this with tongue-in-cheek. We learned that Peyton Manning can finally win the big one, which I never believed he couldn't. Yeah. And I also think we learned that how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning and that team, Marvin Harrison, they've been around for a long time, been very successful, MVPs, breaking records all the time. After 9 years, they finally won a Super Bowl.
All right, Rhonda, can Peyton Manning win the big one again? Can the Colts repeat?
I think they can. If you look at their free agency, their main guy is Cato June. I think if you can bring him back, I think he is one of the leaders of the defense. If you can get him back in there, you have everybody back on offense, everybody back on defense, you can get back.
I definitely think the Colts can win it again. They're a very young team. They got a great quarterback, young running back, defense that's young, getting better. They can definitely win it again.
All right, the NFC has lost 8 of the last 10 Super Bowls. Rod, can the Bears return?
They can. They got a good nucleus. I think all their guys are back. They got a couple other unrestricted free agents, but the mainstay is there. I think they can come back.
Yeah, the Bears can return, but I think it'll be easier for the Colts to come back than the Bears. The Colts dominated the game tonight, basically, statistically. I think another team's going to represent the NFC next year.
We heard Tony Dungy on our set down at Miami, and Rich and Dion and Steve asked him, is there a chance that you might not return? And he was non-committal. Will Tony Dungy return next year?
That's a hard question. I think he wants to get into the ministry, but I think he'll return for 1 more year.
I think he'll be back, definitely.
And I hate to do this to you. But I know we've just enjoyed the 2006 season. We just saw Super Bowl 41. Colts
what's prediction already?
Give me who's going to be in Super Bowl 42? Come on.
Super Bowl 42. Super Bowl 42. I'm going to go with. You go first, Coach.
Okay, Colts.
Think about it.
Colts over the Saints.
That's
it. That's my prediction.
I like the Moore Bowl. That's
Colts
right.
over the Saints.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens and Chicago back.
So you guys put
I'm gonna go
Bears
with
back.
Chicago back. Just for the fact that NFC is so mediocre.
Defensive guy going defense all the time.
You have to, Coach. You have to. Defense help them win some football games today. Help them win a Super Bowl.
And if I can pat myself on the back just a little bit, because I picked the Colts to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I'm telling you the truth. I want to see the film. I had Carolina in there. But for our entire crew down in Miami and everyone here at Los Angeles, I'm Fran Charles. Thanks for watching the Super Bowl edition of NFL Game Day. Tony Dungy and the Colts win Super Bowl 41.